Hey, this is the Bully's Bully Brock's Boulder. You're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, 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 and welcome to the show at Wrestling with Entertainment, bringing you the latest exclusive breaking news, previewing and reviewing the latest from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday, and interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rose Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, that guy, James J. Alongside the leader of SWAT Squad, Talika Yachts, who may be joining us later. But who is joining us right at this moment? The Americans with us.
Fuck the Crimson Tide.
And it's a great day for wrestling, especially us. As last week on the show, we interviewed Izzy James. Some audio issues at the end, but still a great interview. I think the moral that you should take away from it is do the damn laundry. No, should have.
Yeah, do the damn laundry, and your wife won't dump a bucket of laundry on you.
Um, this upcoming Wednesday we got Brock's Boulder coming up. Um, Somebody that's falling on in their career. I always love those ones. Uh, a new area, a new territory they're kind of breaking into as well. Um, and definitely one you don't want to miss. Lots of interesting content there. The week after that, we got Casey King. Casey is an absolute delight. And then we got the week after that, the 25th, Braden Lee. It's happening for sure, 100%. We recorded it. Braden will be on the podcast. Alright, now that we're done putting ourselves over, let's get into some news. Like I believe yesterday, Candice LeRae officially a free agent.
Yes, her
What are
contract has
your
expired.
huh?
Her contract has expired.
Yeah, I don't think anybody kind of not didn't expect that. I mean,
Mhm.
she hasn't. It didn't seem like she was going to stick around. No.
Yeah, it didn't, but the upside is that uh, uh, is that they back when it was still Fetus Gargano. Quill Gargano is under contract until his 40th birthday.
Oh, congratulations. That being said, where does um where does she go from here? Where would a Candice LeRae fit in the best?
The kitchen to make Johnny a sandwich. Uh, yeah, okay, ladies, come on. Um,
Wrestling with Entertainment does not agree or with the views expressed in this episode. Please send your
oh yeah,
views to at Scooter Dust.
yeah, James, I'm just doing what you told me to say. Uh,
Alright,
um, uh, Honestly, I don't think Candace goes anywhere. Candace seems very content to be at home and be a Twitch streamer. Um, and she just wants to be a mom right now. Like, that bitch of an ex-wife of mine.
okay. And you're not, there's no bitterness whatsoever.
No, none.
Yeah, you love Candice. Candice Russell.
Yeah.
Um, Wanna person that there might be some bitterness with, Tessa Blanchard. It was reported, and if you believe rumor and innuendo, she had a falling out with Wow.
Wow.
What are your thoughts on it, Portia? Good boy, Portia. Um, okay, so Tessa Blanchard, this isn't her first offense. It's not the first time something like this has happened. What is it in the water with Tessa Blanchard?
I mean, at this point, Tessa Blanchard, yeah, having an issue in wrestling is almost as certain as the sun will rise tomorrow.
You're, not wrong, honestly. It just seems. What do you think it is with Tessa that there's just some type of it? There's always an issue.
She's Tessa Blanchard. I don't. I think we stop explaining for her.
Well, apparently, and again, rumor innuendo, people within WoW feel like they are maybe bigger in pro wrestling than they actually are. For a company that isn't even on TV yet, that's not a wise way to be. No, Shula?
No, not at all.
Do you think that there's any, you know, reason for them to feel this way?
Probably. Again, it's Tessa Blanchard. Why we keep trying to figure out why Tessa Blanchard's having an issue is the issue here. It's Tessa Blanchard.
We're
She's
not talking
gonna
about.
do something.
We're not talking about Tesla. Just WoW in general feeling like they're Tony
Oh,
Khan when they're not even on a TV station yet.
quite honestly, I never thought WoW was actually going to get off the ground. Not because of its talent that it's promised, but simply its structure and the people who are supposed to be in charge of it. Uh, I I just if there was somebody more reliable, uh, I would probably think differently. But other than that, I mean, I don't think WoW is going to get off the ground at this point.
Alright. Um, Freddie Prince Jr. announced that he will be making his own wrestling promotion. Do you see that getting off the ground?
Ah, I know who you wrestled last summer.
Joints?
Hmm. Well, hopefully it does, and he doesn't end up looking like a Scooby Doofus.
He has been doing a lot of things in pro wrestling. Well, I mean, he started a podcast. He was, you know, a writer for WWE at one point. Could there potentially be something here, or was there a reason WWE fired him?
Well, don't forget that we have Freddie Prince to thank for Jeff Hardy as world champion. Uh, so I expect Freddie Prince Jr. to buy out Jeff Hardy's contract from AEW, and the entire roster is just Jeff Hardy.
and his long lost brother, Jeff Harvey. What are the chances of Matt Hardy getting on there?
Slim to none, and Slim just left town?
Slim Shorty?
No.
Alright. Ukes and AEW are apparently butting heads when it comes to the AEW video game and its development. Apparently, they wanted to take some advantage of Kenny Omega's inexperience in this field, and it kind of rubbed AEW the wrong way. Um, like Tessa Blanchard and WoW, will we ever will we see this video game get off the ground?
Yeah, we will. We will, but the final product, I'm gonna. We may have another Legends of Wrestling on our hands.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, all we've seen at this point is character modeling. We haven't seen any in ring footage yet of the game, so it's penciled in for September. It'll go back. It'll get moved back to December, and then it'll get moved back to at some point in 2023. Um, at which point it might be the second game ever with the least inaccurate roster.
You might not be wrong about that. But apparently AEW sent a lot of money into this game, and a lot more money than they had previously expected. I mean, not. I mean, going into the future, yeah, having a video game won't suck. But at the state they are right now, was this maybe not the best idea?
I mean, they've had quite a bit of time since signing this deal, so like I don't know if Ukes really is to blame here.
Really?
I mean, AEW is in a rush over everything, and they'd rather get something to market in as quick as possible rather than take the time to develop a decent product. AEW could corner the market on wrestling video games if they were to take an approach like, and I hate that I'm going to say this, but take an an EA approach or the approach of a battle royale style game where you've got the base game and it can just be updated as it goes along. They had they had a prime opportunity to try and do that, but no, they want to do something. They want to do when it comes out, we're gonna have a yearly one. Like that's clearly not the way it's going to work anymore.
Right. Do you think that's just what do you contribute that to? Kenny Omega wanting it, Tony Khan's inexperience, Tony Khan wanting it a certain way.
Oh, at this point, who knows?
Just check all the boxes.
Yep.
Alright. It was reported that Stu Grayson has left AEW. And it kind of comes to a surprise because I always saw a lot of value in Stu Grayson, even outside of Super Smash Brothers and the Dark Order. Um, he had a good look. Why didn't it work with Stu Grayson and AEW?
Hmm. That's it's an it's an interesting story. I mean, Grayson is, for all intents and purposes, an AEW original. Um, could could this be an indication of AEW possibly cleaning house? Um, who knows? I would not be surprised if Grayson was unhappy in his place on the card. You know, when you're part of a stable that's got 10 some odd members, and the fact that your stable is not the top stable, even when your your ranks outnumber the supposed top stable in the company, there's a problem.
Right, and all of those 10 mentors, none of them are getting featured. None of
I
them have
mean,
had matches on AEW on a Dynamite or Rampage.
I mean, it's pretty soon it's going to be AEW Dark Order.
I always felt like Malachi should have took over Dark Order and bring in, Grayson, Uno, a couple of those guys, then branch off into two Dark Orders. The House of Black Dark Order and Dark Order Wolfpack.
You, that only works if your leaders are at the top of the card,
I don't know.
and none of them are.
No, unfortunately not. Alright, Roderick Strong reportedly asked for his release from WWE. So it appears that AEW's Undisputed Era will be complete sooner rather than later. No,
Yeah, most likely.
I mean, was the Diamond Mine ever really going to work?
Mm, no, 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 because NXT is clearly, you know, breaking away from having basically any stables at all at this point.
Or having any real talent?
Eh,
I mean, there's some talent. I would say that. Uh, so yeah, matter of time he goes to AEW.
yeah, matter of time.
Alright. Um, do you have any news
Uh,
stories for us?
yeah, yes. Two releases from Impact. First of Willie Mack,
Ooh.
gone from Impact. Not really a big loss, but Mac is somewhat popular on the independent scene. Uh, Perhaps even more than this, Jonah departs from Impact Wrestling, the former Bronson Reed.
I didn't even know he
Uh,
was signed.
yep. His his contract expired at some point last month. Um, he we don't we don't know where he could be going, except that he is going to continue working for New Japan and some. He's got some dates in Australia. Will we see Bronson Reed back in WWE? It's quite possible. Especially given that, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this, that could the WWE be interested in re-signing W. Morrissey? Morrissey made his AEW debut this past Wednesday in a match against Wardlow. He lost the match, but according to the Matman Pro Wrestling podcast, it impressed WWE officials. And apparently WWE is trying to figure out when his contract is up.
I wouldn't be too mad with a big cast return. Obviously he wasn't maybe in the best of places when he left WWE, but just to go. And I'm not saying they're gonna put any belts on him, but just to go to kind of get some closure and have a positive experience in that company might not be a bad thing.
It might not, but knowing knowing how everything's happened lately, he'll get signed. Uh, Maybe work one big feud, and then they're gonna realize that they didn't really want to re-sign him, uh, and release him again. Um, I do see one feud happening if he does return, and that's with Corey Graves.
Well, from what I hear, Clay Graves is not interested in getting back in the ring, and he really shouldn't because he has a comfy, I don't want to say office job, but commentary job. Well, why would you kind of risk getting back in the ring when you have that? You know what I mean?
Uh, yeah, yeah.
Anything, is that the last
Uh,
pick?
Other than that, um, we will be getting another WWE draft.
Of course.
Uh, it looks like it's going to be happening uh, the night. It'll be starting the night after SummerSlam, uh, or even the week following SummerSlam, the first week of August.
feel about the draft being in the summer rather than right after WrestleMania? Because it would
I mean,
usually be maybe 2, 3 weeks after Mania.
well, I mean, back when they first did, they would do it in June and whatnot, and then uh, the June and July pay per views would still take place under with the same rosters, as the roster changes wouldn't be in effect until the end of the month. Not that any of this matters, regardless, but still, uh, do we even need a draft to begin with? Probably not.
Considering how Roman Reigns and the Usos just go wherever they want now, probably not.
Um, I mean, aside from that, uh, yeah, we do have some updates on Raw on the WWE getting back to a uh, regular touring schedule, and it does seem that they're going back to the concept of themed tours.
Hmm.
Uh, it looks like they're going to be bringing back Saturday night's main event as a uh, you know house show esque event, plus another event called the Sunday Stunner.
Not involving Stone Cold.
And I mean, they've got they yeah they're in, basically they're in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Between June 24th and June 27th, there's 6 events in a 3-day span. I
Wow.
mean, they're running 2 Saturday night main events uh, on June 25th. One in Amarillo, one in Abilene. They're doing the same thing with the Sunday Stunner the next day. Um, they are they are trying to almost make up for lost time. It seems.
Doesn't that seem a little greedy? I mean, their first quarter financials came out and they had record highs. So, in all honesty, they don't need to do as much as they're doing, right? It's just, it kind of seems a little greedy, no?
Yes, it does.
But
Yeah,
hey,
it does.
WWE. Alright.
One more Survivor Series going back to Boston, and the Royal Rumble returning to the Alamo Dome.
Hmm, interesting. Hopefully, it turns out better than it was last time it was in the Alamo Dome. There were a lot of complications and issues with running that arena, if you seem to remember.
Yep.
Alright. Um, now a quick word from our sponsors.
Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low calorie, no sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0 calorie energy milkshake. First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off brands out there that are presenting low quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more wins.
Use promo code WRESTLINGWITHE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with New Japan's Best of the Super Juniors. And we're going to talk a little bit more than just Best of the Super Juniors. As last week was Wrestling Danteku, and this this event kind of seemed like it was the start of New Japan kind of getting on its feet again. You know, obviously the pandemic um, kind of paused everything in the world, and especially for New Japan, and the Olympics as well. And looking at the matches, the people announced for the Best of the Super Junior, it does seem like there was really some consideration put into this tournament, and not every jabroni Joe that New Japan was put into it. Your thoughts on New Japan maybe getting back to normal, Scooter?
If they get back to normal, good for them. I mean, quite honestly, I don't know what would be considered normal for New Japan anymore these days.
Well, bringing in some rising talent. At and let's start with the best of the Super Juniors. Um, I'm gonna tell you a name. You give me a one-word response or first thing that comes to mind. Ryosuke Taguchi.
Who?
Taguchi. The guy
Well,
with
that's my
the
answer. Who? Uh, uh, good guy. You're hanging me out to dry here, James.
yo
Yo, you.
Clark Connors.
Phone booth.
Hiromu Takahashi.
That kid's gonna go places.
Yoshinobu Kanemaru.
Underappreciated.
Ace Austin.
Go back to Impact.
Alex Alex Zane.
Go back to MLW.
Francisco Akira.
Pick a nationality and stick with it.
Taiki Ishimori.
Finally, a name.
Hiro, Takahashi wasn't a name?
I mean, it is a name in that it's got letters, and
Where's Felipe? So,
Show enough.
Master Watto.
Is he related to Wheeler Yuta?
Not that I'm aware.
I mean, is there an apprentice Watto?
No, he is the apprentice.
But then he can't be a master.
Well, he's on his way to being the Grandmaster.
But he won't ever make the rank of Grandmaster Sexay.
Nobody ever will. I wish we had two the two cold theme to play right this second.
Jesus died today.
Robbie Eagles.
I love Hotel California.
Teton.
Very grand.
Bushi.
God bless you.
El Desperado.
He is gonna go places.
Dipti.
In my pants?
Alabama.
What?
Lindaman? Lindana?
Ellen. Dang it, now I gotta.
While you're Googling that, I'll give you the next name. Will Yuta.
There we go. Blackpool Combat Club is expanding with a Japanese franchise.
TJP.
Seems like you should put him with Dookie.
El Phantasmo.
He's gotta clearly shine here.
So,
L. Lindemann. What the L Lindemann. Wow.
everybody wants to know who El Lindemann is.
I mean, it's like, it sounds like somebody just like gave him some bad Spanish.
What are your thoughts, Bozo?
Alright, cradle the balls!
So, honestly, we got a lot of names from outside. Yuta, Lindemann, Teton, Zane,
Wait, Teton.
Oscar.
Isn't it Titan?
It's Titan, but they call him Teton. Because it's
God,
all Spanish
God,
type.
God damn it.
Yeah. Just from my perspective, we got Ace Austin from Impact, Alex Zane from MLW, Akira from wherever, Yuta from AEW, uh, Titan from AAA, no, CMLL. There's at least four companies that's involved in this tournament. So it's not like the last 2 years have just been New Japan exclusive, no really, gaishings. This is an impressive step back into becoming the New Japan that they was before the pandemic, no, Scooter?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so.
Hearing this list, Does it make you feel like we might get the same treatment for maybe the G1?
I hope.
Do you think
I really.
a John Moxley or a Brian Danielson might be available for that event, those events?
I wouldn't be surprised if we at least saw Danielson.
So you
I
think?
mean,
Oh,
given that well, Moxley is part of the main event in the DC show,
right.
uh, so
And Yuta's obviously in this tournament.
I think it makes sense for Danielson to be part of at least one of the next upcoming at New Japan events.
But you said something interesting. You felt Brian Danielson was more likely to show up at a G1 than Moxley, who Moxley is an actual contracted superstar from New Japan.
Yeah, because I think New Japan it would be somewhat of a rebuilding year for the G1. So why not bring in one of the actual best all around wrestlers who can give you at least a number of consistent matches throughout the entire G1.
Very true. Is there any and going to what we're seeing in the best in Super Juniors? Is there anybody in Impact that would maybe be great in a G1?
Uh, I mean, you could probably put Chris Sabin in. You could
You
probably
think
put Alex Shelley in.
they're juniors? True.
So what? At this point, really? Um, I mean, Saban's getting to the point, the point where at the age where he ain't gonna be a junior that much longer. Um,
He's a senior.
exactly. I mean, anybody else from Impact?
I'm
Uh,
surprised that you didn't go with your go-to.
Moose,
Yes. Why did it take you so long?
because the G1 is not Moose's thing. I'd expect Josh Alexander before I saw Moose.
My thoughts went to Josh Alexander as well. But, G1 isn't exclusive to, like, only great wrestlers. They have some monsters in there as well. And, they had Bad Luck Fale and for many years. And Moose did wrestle Ishii not too long ago at a New Japan event. Or maybe it was long ago.
It's possible. Yeah, I could see Moose. I would not be surprised if maybe we even saw Christian Cage.
Now, that just makes me wonder, can his body hold up for such a rigorous sport?
I think that's how he finds out if he can.
And maybe the worst possible way. But that begs the question, Will we see Jurassic Express and tag team G1?
Mm, there's more chance. I think there's a better chance of God showing up on American soil to wrestle Jurassic Express than Jurassic Express going over there. Quite honestly.
I don't know. And lastly, what are your thoughts on Yoshihashi?
Fuck the Crimson Tide. I mean, fuck Ronda Rousey. I mean, god damn it. He loved Yoshihashi.
Thanks. One day, thanks. Okay, so coming in after Best Super Juniors concludes, the main event of Dominion is Kazuchika Okada versus Jay White. Jay White back on Japanese soil in over a year. Um, it kind of seems like they tried the Will Ospreay route and kind of make him the top Gaijin uh, uh, wrestler in New Japan, and obviously it didn't really work out. So is this them pushing Will Ospreay to the side and going with the guy that they know is reliable? Is this just waiting for the right opportunity to bring him back because Bullet Club is probably the strongest it's been in 5 years? What are your thoughts on Jay White getting back to the main event?
The question is, does he need that spot anymore? Quite honestly.
I think it kind of really does because at this moment in time, I don't believe them wrestling Okada right now. From where he was and where he is, two very different Jay Whites, in my mind.
Very true. Very true.
What about Will Ospreay? Did they try an experiment, or will we see him up there as well?
Uh, I bet we even see him up there.
Alright, well, that would conclude our coverage of New Japan, all things New Japan. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, go on YouTube, and Castbox. Of course, this is sponsored by Rose Energy and Carolina Coffee. Join us this Wednesday as we interview Brock Spolder. And follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at Wrestling with E. You can follow me at JamesJ993. You can follow Kaliko at I am Kaliko. And where can they find Scooter?
Follow me on Twitter at ScooterDust. Find me and James hosting the remix on YouTube tomorrow
Decided.
night. Yep. Tomorrow night, WrestleMania Backlash. And of course, find me on Twitch along with Rico Constantino Jr. and the rest of the Smoking Dragons Squad at twitch.tv / Smoking Dragons.
For Kaliko Yaku Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hey guys, this is Brutal Bob Evans from Hangs with Bob Seminars and TheWrestleLife.com, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.